Hey, how you doing? Hello, my Evilites. For those who don't know, I've been a huge fan of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And like many fans, it was a bittersweet sadness when the show came to an end. And not so sweet when G5 took over. While it claimed to be a sequel to G4, it disregarded a lot of the elements of the show, such as dragons all of a sudden now having their own cutie marks, all the places in Equestria are now gone, and ponies turned against each other, and basically all the stuff that made G4 interesting and all the progress that had been basically thrown out the window. As someone who has watched season 1 through 9 and even read 10 in the comics, it feels like a real kick in the teeth when everything that's built up to has been tossed to the side. It felt too much like the writers of G5 have just skimmed the G4 series and not even trying to understand what drew fans to the series in the first place. Call it immature, but I'm gonna decide that I won't consider G5 to be canon to G4. Which is why I'm going to create my own interpretation of what happens in the future of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Starting with drawing the main 6 in the future in my own art style with my own interpretations. Then how I imagine their children or descendants will be. Now some of the main 6 won't look too different from how they looked in the finale of the show, but I will make some changes if I feel the need. So I'm starting with my least favorite member of the main 6, Rainbow Dash. I just felt like the urge to draw Pegasus and decided that I will draw my interpretation of future Rainbow Dash, which honestly isn't that too different from what the show had. Basically with her mane being sort of blown back, most likely formed over years and years of flying. It kind of got stuck that way. And so in my idea of future Rainbow Dash, that she's not that too different from in the show. And so I guess I'll just explain why she's my least favorite. On episodes that starred Rainbow Dash, there were a few times where I thought she was really insensitive. Don't come at me, Rainbow Dash fans, but there were just moments where she just grated on my nerves, especially in the episode where she had to be a coach for a cheerleading team. Like, I get she's not, she wasn't interested in cheerleading, but going so far as to insult those who wanted to be cheerleaders, I don't know, it kind of made me want to strangle her, to be honest, but I guess you could just blame the writing on that episode. Basically, I know it's kind of in her character to do so, but sometimes it can get very grating for me. So I like to think that she matured through that and not try to put others down for liking something that she isn't personally invested in. I mean, I get it. The writers didn't want to, they wanted to teach a moral, but I think they went a little far with how much Rainbow Dash does not care about cheerleading and went to such lengths to not be invested in it. And, well, it just felt like a huge stretch even for Rainbow Dash. Going so far as to say no one cares about it and it doesn't really matter. And you don't go and tell someone to their face that what they're doing doesn't matter. There's being insensitive and there's just flat out being a jerk. Say what you want about Applejack being a jerk during the fashion contest where she had to be a judge. At least she was genuinely trying and thought she was helping during that time. She didn't mean to be a jerk. She thought she was doing her job right. But just went about it the wrong way and had to be shown why her behavior wasn't acceptable. So, yeah, at least Applejack at least has some kind of excuse. She thought she was helping, but Rainbow Dash just didn't even try to be helpful. She just gave the bare minimum and, well, just say, it doesn't really matter, so why should I put in the effort? And I get that's the moral that they were trying to teach, but I just realized I've mostly been ranting. I do enjoy certain aspects of Rainbow Dash's character. I do enjoy seeing like certain aspects where we get to see like Pony Military with the Wonderbolts and how she genuinely makes the Wonderbolts better, especially during those times where they were acting like jerks, and teaches them about loyalty and such. And I do like looking into the military background with the Wonderbolts, mostly because, well, my dad, he was in the Air Force, and he has told me some stories, so it was nice to see how that coincides. And I also love her relationship with Scootaloo, where she shows moments of being humble, like with parental guidance, and when she had to say it's okay to be scared. I noticed in earlier designs for the 3D models in the G5 movie, they added feathers to the Pegasi's hooves, and I thought that was a neat detail and was disappointed that they didn't really add it into the final cut of the movie. So I decided to add some feathery hooves, as well as some tail feathers for Rainbow Dash's design, and I feel like it's just neat to differentiate Pegasi from other ponies. My other goal with this design is to make her look aerodynamic. So, as well as a bit worn and torn, as you can see with the little nicks in the feathers. And because, well, she's older and more of a veteran, you could say. So, yeah, I added a bit more wrinkles to really add to her age, but still very fit. And I was going to add the jacket, but later decided not to add it because, well, it would hide certain details that I added in, like the little tufts at her joints. So I ended up leaving it out. But yeah, this is my own interpretation of older Rainbow Dash. So I hope you like it.